The Black Americans versus Africans Essence Fest beef just got worse. Hey man, we on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. Shouts out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Let's see what it's hitting for.
African people are taking over the Essence Festival with the intentions of selling African culture and heritage, okay? They're trying to sell Black people African culture and African heritage. They really feel like that we are lost and we are confused on where we come from.
The Essence Festival is normally the crown of summer events, especially for the Black community, placing a spotlight on Black culture. But is there a crack in the crown?
Essence Fest 2025 came and went, but it left a sour taste in many mouths of Black Americans. And many people are feeling like there is a big change in Essence Fest in comparisons to the past. And one of those people was a radio personality by the name of KG Smooth in Houston, who recently just got back from the Essence Fest. And he understood that amongst African Americans or Black Americans that were there, a lot was being said amongst the crowd.
It didn't feel the same. It didn't feel the same, it didn't look the same, but it definitely didn't feel the same. And a lot of what the people were saying is because of the new leadership.
Now, I've already talked about the CEO of Essence, Caroline A. Wanga, who is a Kenyan, and then also Barku Tubman Zawalu, who is a Liberian American, are leading the charge in Essence Fest. But there was also another complaint.
I was there at the convention center Saturday, prime time, 3 a.m. Saturday afternoon. Normally that place is wall to wall. It was like a ghost town. I was shocked. I was really shocked. And so I don't know, some folks are saying the acts. I thought that the lineup was pretty dope each night. They actually started egregiously late, and Target being a sponsor, the title sponsor, they know folks ain't doing that. But what they're saying is the ownership, that they are trying to do more with the African diaspora and with our Caribbean family and take away the Black American culture that started Essence Fest in the first place.
Now, Mr. KG Smooth noticed something that was particular. Okay. First was starting late egregiously. Even Lauryn Hill being late was not the issue, and typically she is an issue, but it wasn't even her fault this time, according to KG Smooth. And this is a big point that we need to talk about. Now, let's be honest. African Americans, we are also late, right? Black people time. But there's something to be said about being egregiously late. And I'll be honest, I live in Africa. I've been to things all over the continent, and Africans typically start very late. So what a lot of Black Americans are saying, hey, listen, now that the Essence Fest is being ran by Africans, it is now less professional than what it was in years past. And because of the lack of professionalism, this is what is pissing vendors off, and the downturn in the attendance is what it is. Now, let's also get to the point about Target. And most of you understood this boycott that many Black Americans on the left had against Target because Target eliminated its DEI program. Now that's interesting because Caroline Wanga DEI program. Now that's interesting because Caroline Wanga was a DEI hire, I believe, who at one point worked for Target. And if you can even see on her bio on LinkedIn, she has it right there, DEI practitioner. But Target is the title sponsor of Essence Festival. Now, let me kind of explain what a title sponsor is. A title sponsor is a person or entity.
Imagine being able to build anything, for any reason, in any style,
that puts up the majority of the money, and typically it could be known as Target Essence Festival or something like that. So they have the most to gain for putting up the most money. But for many Black Americans, this was a smack in the face because a lot of Black Americans are not messing with Target right now. But the African community or the African leadership just didn't care and said, listen, we're going to take this money anyway, despite the fact that many people in our audience.
Wait, so Target actually partnered
don't
with it?
like Target. But then he said something that was very influential. is that they're trying to make Essence Fest more African and more Caribbean than being typically Black American or African American culture. And this is a problem that not only he brought up, but other Black Americans have brought up all the time. And one of those people is, of course, Tariq Nasheed. Now, Tariq Nasheed, in his bashing of Essence on Twitter, he went out and started talking about certain things that I want to discuss. Now, the first charge he lays out against Essence is that the fact that he's been calling out Essence for years, and we're going to go over the fact that he's been doing so, because I've been calling out the tethering of Essence for years. He also says here, I got receipts going back almost a decade of me calling out Essence magazines for their shenanigans. And then he also says the tethering of the Essence Fest got so bad, our foundational Black American icon Stephanie Mills had to call out the event organizers out for their lack of professionalism and janky practices. And one of those practices, of course, was them being late. But again, I want to go ahead and go over some of these tweets that basically he's talking about as far as 2016. Tariq Nasheed wrote this, and you wonder why so-called Black media outlets like Ebony and Essence have completely fallen off. All right. Then also
I just don't think. I think the fact that, you know, that the African leaders that's playing a big role in it, you know, and then the fact that there's celebrities, like, I haven't heard no promo for this, for no Essence, really ever, from nobody, none of the musicians, artists, actors, celebrities, Black entertainers that I watch have ever promoted nothing about Essence, bro. Have never, that I've seen, just popped out like that, bro. You know? And I feel like that's playing a part in it as well. You know?
Essence have completely fallen off.
Because
right?
when you talk about Black culture, bro, Black American culture, the entertainment is in that, bro. You know? The same niggas at the BET Awards is not the same niggas at Essence. I know it's two different types of, but it's not. It's like two different worlds, bro.
Yeah, outlets like Ebony and Essence have completely fallen off. All right. Then also he posts here. This is in July 1st, 2020, exactly 5 years ago. Does Essence magazine have Billy Porter in a red, black, and green dress to represent the Essence?
That's around the time. No, that's 20. Didn't it get sold? Then who bought it for? Like, they bought 51%. He said it in the last video. Some white people had bought it for. Time. I think it was Time magazine. Time bought the shit. 51% of it. You know, back I forgot what year. I think like 2015, 16 or something. Can't remember.
Magazine have Billy Porter in a red, black, and green dress.
And then it just got bought back by the Africans. I don't know what year either. Exactly.
Here, this is in July 1st, 2020, exactly 5 years ago. Does Essence magazine have Billy Porter in a red, black, and green dress to represent the essence of Black struggle against systemic white supremacy? Now, again, Essence is very left-leaning and female-leaning, but it's also very welcoming to the LGBTQ community. So is Essence. And so what Tariq Nasheed has a problem with is the fact that you have this man who is gay.
You're not going to believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative of,
and which he probably doesn't have a problem with the fact that somebody's gay, but now you're trying to tie that to the Black struggle against white people when the LGBTQ struggle
got nothing to do with that.
Might be completely different than the Black struggle.
They ain't got nothing to do with
what
that.
You're trying to do is conflate both of them into one struggle, which many people might have an issue with. Now,
try to make that a part of the Black struggle. No.
Talks about the selling out of Essence. Here, August 13, 2022. He says here, the Kenyan editor at Essence is upset that foundational Black Americans are aware of the cultural differences we have, and we aren't allowing any and everyone to speak for us. Remember, those non-FBAs at Essence have been publishing this type of nonsense for the last decade. Now, if you guys remember Ralph Richard Banks, the Stanford law professor who suggested that black women stop exclusively dating black men and try to go out there and get white men. And basically that was a very controversial article. So imagine a black male magazine that is,
You know what they did in Australia, bro? The white people did to the black people, the black indigenous people of Australia. Go watch the rabbit proof fence. They took, well, I actually looked it up. They said that wasn't even really all the way true. I don't know though. But the movie was, they took the half breed, you know what I'm saying, indigenous, you know, that had the mama had a baby with a white man, right? They kidnapped the half breed, they call him a half caste, you know, from the whatever you want to call it, the slums, from the other side of the fence, you know, from the indigenous, you know, the white people, you know, they was settled, you know, just like Americans, just like the American white people did. They did the same thing out there, but what they did was they took the half breeds and they brought them into their society and raised them up. You know what I'm saying? So they put them in school and did all that, and they try to get them to breed with a white man, or you know, to have white babies. And so they was trying to breed out the color. That's what the fuck they was doing out there in Australia, boy.
basically that was a very controversial article. So
That's
imagine
what that bitch trying to do.
a black male magazine that is, you know, really.
And then they had a nigga hunting the runaway, you know what I'm saying, the runaway children. That's what the movie was about, bro.
A very controversial article. So imagine a black male magazine that is, you know, really interested in bringing black men together, and that magazine would take a shot at black women, saying that, oh, it's better for black men to marry white women than black women. It would have been up in smoke. But again, imagine if it was an African man saying that for African American male magazine, that would be a big issue. But not only did Tariq Nasheed point these things out, he actually discussed it.
Well, it doesn't, until the whole world catches on and it becomes a trend. No one gives a fuck what you say, bro. Until it goes viral, no one cares. Now he's getting his flowers because he been calling it out.
But not only did Tariq Nasheed point these things out, he actually discussed it on his Twitter space.
Listen, Essence, that was created to celebrate the foundational Black American experience, not really a Pan-African thing. You know, the Essence Festival was really originally a celebration to celebrate foundational Black American womanhood, music, resilience, cultural excellence. And now they've been really hard-bodied trying to shift the narrative into a generalized African or a Pan-Caribbean theme. And that just, to be honest, it dilutes the core identity and it alienates the original base.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real, man. Foundational Black American audiences, we don't really relate to these foreign-centered messagings. We just don't.
Now, if you can hear what Brother Tariq is saying here, he's making a very interesting point. Essence Fest is trying to basically merge these cultures and trying to make, in his opinion, Essence Fest more of a Pan-African or a Pan-Caribbean thing. But if you look at what Essence Fest started off as, that wasn't the case. Let me just say this. Every May 25th around the world, there's something called Africa Day. All right. And Africa Day is an opportunity for people to celebrate the continent and celebrate also the diaspora. And that is more suited for an African American culture to come in, Ugandan culture to come in, Kenyan culture. I've been a part of Africa Day here on the continent and also Africa Day in Europe. And that is more malleable to do so because, again, this is what it's for. But let's talk about Bachiga Festival, okay? Bachiga Festival is something that happens here in Uganda. I think it's like almost 3 times a year. It's basically Western Ugandan culture. So it's even offensive to even consider that somebody from the Central should be recognized in this. It's no diss to those in the, Buganda culture or those in the North that are Nilotic possibly, but it's about Buchiga Nation and
Right.
what represents being a
Right.
part of
You
that
got your
particular
day to pop out. You know, all of Africa got their day to pop out. You know what I'm saying? But the cultures also got their days to pop out. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. You know, that's the way it's supposed to be, honestly. You know,
tribe and culture.
but when I don't feel like the outsider should just be shunned the fuck away. But whenever it comes to leadership and what the fuck the festival is about, it shouldn't be. It should be what it was originally intended for. You know what I'm saying?
And so because that's how it started off, then that's how it needs to be. And if you go in there and try to change it, it's going to be a problem. This is the point he's making here with Essence Festival. It's
Are you feeling
because
stuck with
it's some people who, you know, they might be from there, but they've
$1,000 or more in debt?
they
and
might
all
be
the
from
interest that
another
comes with
place,
it?
but they've
Try
also
National
grown
Debt
up in
Relief.
this culture as
it's
well.
not that
You can't tell me it's people who not going to multiple different like other culture festivals. They're like, come on now.
The point he's making here with Essence Festival. It's not that celebrating Pan-Africanism or Black cultures is an issue. It's just that this is not what this event is about, and there could be an opportunity for another event to do so. And then now you're bringing in, you know, different cultures and different systems, and then also a lack of professionalism that he might say is coming from your community because these problems didn't exist before. That is an issue. But he also said this.
When the Essence branding is just getting too foreign, it comes off as inauthentic and performative. It's not celebratory. It looks funny style. And also in New Orleans, listen, it's not an inclusive thing. People are now looking at this whole Africanizing and Caribbeanizing of the culture, not as some type of global come together kumbaya aesthetic. It's looking like a covert takeover and a covert erasure. Y'all remember when Essence, I put up this video that Essence did not too long ago talking about New Orleans. I think they were trying to promote the Essence Fest. And they were talking about New Orleans is the north part of the Caribbean. And I said, nah. See, they're really trying to push that BS. Not only is that offensive to foundational Black Americans in general, that's offensive to the brothers and sisters of New Orleans. They don't like that.
He's also saying that, listen, now you guys are trying to tie New Orleans culture to the Caribbean culture. And, you know, and it's like rewriting the history. And I thought that was a pretty interesting comment because a person commented on my last video I made about this, Choco Beauty 8, shout out to her. She says, as a New Orleans native who previously attended multiple Essence Fest concerts and convention center activities, I have observed some changes with how Essence Fest interacts with local culture, particularly around 2017. Furthermore, in recent years, Essence has taken legal action against local vendors who utilize the Essence platform to promote community events.
So this is like they've only done this in New Orleans. They've only had this festival in New Orleans. So you would have to go to New Orleans to even go to this. They've never had one in another city.
Day parties and author meet and greets. Essence Festival has a requirement for restaurants near the convention center and the Superdome to close.
That's another reason why attendance is down, bro.
The festival weekend. It makes it seem that restaurants do not want Essence Fest visitors as customers.
And like I say, bro, there's a whole this is like a whole different world audience of Black people, bro. The hood is not popping out to this, bro. I'm telling you, bro, the entertainers, they've never nobody that I've seen has really promoted nothing about no Essence, bro.
Okay. Lastly, no one comes to New Orleans for African food. All right. Also, not Jamaican food. Okay. We're gonna be honest. So we all know New Orleans for the gumbo.
Yeah, I want some damn. Yeah, I want all that.
The classic African American dishes. Now, there was an African brother who went to Essence Fest, and he had this to say:
Africans ruin Essence Fest. You would think you walked around and you just heard Jerusalem, Ikayanami. He no gonna say no. You would think you walked around and everybody was like, baby, calm down. That's not what happened. Every corner you turn, you heard wedding bells, which is traditionally African American jubilation song. Let me tell you something. When it comes to diaspora wars, I do believe Africans be lying. But even more, African Americans be lying as well. Because everybody wants to drive their own narrative. So people make up stuff and say whatever they can to sell the point across. Sometimes, most of the time, it ain't true. Not even sometimes. What am I talking about? Like, oh, African Americans ain't got no culture. Oh, Africans trying to take over our spaces. Not the case. If Africans were to be present at your festival, trust me, you will know. There will be the smell of suya in the air. Uncles all around the area. Burna Boy and Davido would have been a headliner. It would have been insane. I was there, and my experience was once again enjoying and celebrating and reveling in all the beauty that is Black American culture.
Now, in his opinion, he doesn't understand why Black Americans are upset. Because if it was really a lot of Africans there, then you would see a whole lot of Africans there, uncles there, trying to take over Essence Fest, and that's just not true. But I mean, hey, I can see the arguments on both sides. And when I put out the video earlier today, it did very, very well. And I have a solution to all of this. Number one, if people think that Essence Fest is bad because it's now owned by Africans.
Will you sell me your house? I need to buy a house. Will anybody sell me their house? Will you sell me your house?
Africans. Then there is something that you can do. Start a new festival. Okay? You start a new festival. Festivals come and go all the time. I'm sure that,
where's the money behind it?
Successful.
Who's gonna it's gotta be official, bro. Who's gonna do that? That's all I say. Nobody that I really entertainment wise, celebrity wise, got money wise, never heard of nobody go to this, bro. This is some strictly New Orleans stuff. You have to be in New Orleans to go to this. They don't do it in no other cities.
You could pick a Black city. It could be Atlanta. It could be Memphis. It could even be in New Orleans, Philadelphia.
And I said, the hood is not going to this, bro. That's a whole Black culture. That's Black culture of its own. That's a part of it. It's a part of its own.
There's so many.
They're not popping out to this, bro.
Opportunities for Blacks to come and present this, right? But now here is what I am afraid of: that this festival takes off, it does very well, it does great, okay, and then at certain points, what happens again? You sell it.
Damn.
And guess who buys it? A white person. Or guess who buys it? An Asian person. We keep seeing this all the time. Look at the Versus situation. What happened with Timberland and Swiss
when
Beats?
It's not in the power, when the people don't own it, bro, it's gonna be. That's why I say, bro, if a new festival comes out, any festival, bro, just look at all the festivals. They're all owned by a corporation of some sort, bro.
They started Versus, all right? And Versus got sold to Triller, all right? For 3 years, they had it popping. They were bringing back all the Black American acts. And, you had D'Angelo on there. We got to see Wu-Tang Clan, Ghostface, RZA, all those people, right?
And that shit still ass, bro.
And we saw, and it was cracking. It was on Instagram. It was legit. They sold it, all right?
It's not
Triller. So then we'll come out and say
Triller is not. I say it's ass because it's on Triller. Triller is dog shit. Don't nobody have the Triller. You have the Triller app on your phone, bro? No.
Hey, that we want these things and solve these problems. But
Nobody's
what is the
using
commitment? Triller.
When was the last fucking Versus niggas tuned into? How many years ago?
To people to stay loyal to the culture and want to keep it and make it better and not sell it because somebody's going to want to buy it. All right. If you get FBA Fest or whatever you call Fest and it starts cracking, look, sponsors going to be there. Companies going to want to be there. People are going to be there, right? And then it's so much easier for you to sell it than it is for you to keep the business up every year. And then when somebody buys it, we're back at the same drawing board.
I need to figure out, because this is is the Essence Fest only in Yes. You're missing the whole rest of the country, bro. Niggas are not coming from. Why do you think this is happening, bro? Why do you think I've never really even heard of this shit? Not from Oklahoma, it's right there. Niggas is not traveling. You're missing the whole country, my nigga. This is really New Orleans culture, bro. And then on whoever comes, whoever has the money to come. Yeah, and y'all wonder why this is happening. Y'all need to go from city to city, bro. You're missing out on the whole country, bro. Y'all wonder why. Come on now. I just cracked the solution.
To service black people and to serve the community.
I just cracked the solution. For one, the African leadership, yeah. But for two, you're missing the whole fucking black entertainment culture, my nigga. The whole hood, my nigga. You're not going city to city. It's 2025. The people go to less and less. They do shit online now, bro. If you're not going from city to city, you're cooked. And you're doing this once a year, nobody's going to New Orleans, bro. Sorry. 4th of July, people do shit with their family, bro. In their own towns. Like, they traveling to go see their family. I'm sure some pop out to go specifically to the Essence with their family, too. Not saying that, but come on now.
Then money. Like, it's easy to criticize what these Africans are doing until
y'all niggas need to be in every city. Y'all need to be doing tours.
Organize the
just like all these other festivals, these music festivals, they go from city to city, bro. This is only in New Orleans. Niggas are not coming from New York, LA, Chicago, Florida. Niggas are not coming to go to New Orleans, my nigga. I hear New Orleans is dirty, and that's no hate, no disrespect. You know, they say New Orleans is rough, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, you know, it's not really even Mardi Gras, nigga. That's like only people from down there really go to that shit, bro. Yeah, I've heard of people from where I'm from, you know, go all the way out there to Mardi Gras. You know what I'm saying? But niggas, I would say niggas travel more for that than for this. Niggas is not coming from New York. Oh, there's always exceptions. Somebody gonna be in the comments, man, you don't know what, you a half-breed. It's that. None of that matters, bro. I just cracked the solution. Y'all niggas need to go from city to city. We can all say that's true. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have only ever been in New Orleans. Who the hell for all these years is just gonna keep going out there, even if they've been once before? Y'all are missing. Y'all are not tapped in, bro. You know, and now it's ran by Africans, so they're really not tapped in.
Festival every year.
You're missing the hood, bro.
To, you know, make sure.
And really, you don't even want that type of energy there, bro. But when you talk about black culture, that's culture, bro. And it is what it is. That's everything. That's a big part of the fucking culture. Hip hop, my nigga. Hip hop is a big part of the culture, and never have I really heard in all of hip hop anybody talk about Essence, bro. Because it's never really been hip hop, and I understand that. But you're missing that crowd, bro. That's black culture.
All of the seating and all of the designs and all of that is there, and dealing with vendors and dealing with hotels, and it's not an easy job. Okay? Now, you may not want to deal with that every single year, and also the magazine every single year. And it's easy to make those complaints. But then once you go out on your own and you have your things, then it becomes you. All right, and now you're responsible for it.
You wonder why.
So
you wonder why
it's now. If you are late, if you don't give good value, if you don't
becoming about African, because they just came out with fucking 2 different Black Panther movies, my nigga, and everybody was Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you're African American, bro. If you want it to be strictly, you gotta bring the hood in that bitch, bro. It's that simple. We need car shows. We need big rims pulling up to that bitch. This is not none of that, bro. The Essence Fest is not that, as far as what I see from the outside looking in. Never have I ever been to it nor heard of it for real. I've heard of the magazine back in the day, but it's 2025, bro.
All of that. And if you're not committed to keeping this in the culture,
and y'all not coming to city to city,
you say no to that money, then we know you down. But a lot of folks can talk and say whatever they want until it's them. And then when somebody give you $50 million to own, you know, the festival, will you sell it? And then you get mad if it's an African that buys it. So we got to understand what we're asking for. When we are saying we want to control our own stuff and we want to start something new that we control it, it's going to be deeper.
You got to start in the hood first.
It's going to go through the hard pains, the hard stuff.
You got to start in the hood first.
First time it may not work out, whatever, and then we got to learn how to work together and keep it going all the time. Boom, boom, boom. But it can be done, and you don't have to go to Essence Festival, but you do got to take care of your own community, and you do got to monitor your own community, and you do got to be responsible for it, and that is altogether a different situation. But guys, they think it's your boy OCD Jackson back at it
They
again.
only do this shit in New Orleans, bro. Specifically, it takes place over the 4th of July weekend. So it's 3 days. Features a variety of events, including large evening performances. Like, and the performances is everything, bro. Who's going? Who's performing? Nobody is popping out to that. We're just not. The hood's not popping out. You know, who's performing, man? Nigga, y'all ain't got the hottest artist up there, bro. Let's look at their website real quick. Oh, Glorilla? Okay. But my thing is, I'm not hearing no promo from these people though, bro. Like, Glorilla was there. Let's go to her page. Let's go to Glorilla IG and see if she got something posted from the Essence. Memphis, Tennessee. That's not it. Okay, Essence Fest 25. Okay, she did post something. I mean, I don't follow people, but okay, she did post it. Okay. But the thing I'm saying is though, bro, the majority of people are not talking about it, bro. It's getting talked about now, but it's not being talked about like that. Not enough to where I'm hearing about it, bro. You know? That's how I feel. Y'all let me know what y'all think though, man. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you made it to the end of this video and you bored, check out this video to the left or check out my music to the right. Just drop some new shit on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all that good shit. I'll get at you on the next one and I'm gone. TYP tonight.